Hello, Patriot Nation. My name is Mr. Poulin, and I'm here today to show you how to set up a parent Schoology account and then also how to access your child's information once you have an account set up. So we're going to start here in Schoology. So you're going to go to Schoology.com. And if you do not have an account currently set up, you're going to go ahead and click on the sign up button, and then you're going to choose parent. So you're going to go ahead and select here. The first thing it's going to ask you for is an access code. So this access code is something you should have received from your homeroom teacher, and it looks something like this. If you do not have that access code, please feel free to reach out to me via email, and we can go ahead and get you those access codes. You can also ask your teacher, your student's teacher, and they'll be able to provide that for you as well. So you can see here, here's where it has the student information, and what I'm looking for is the access code that's given towards the bottom of the document. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this access code. I'm going to go back into Schoology, and now when I paste this access code in, this is going to link me to that student. So I'm going to click on continue, and now I can go ahead and fill in this information and set up an account for that student. I'm going to register. So now you'll see that I am registered in Schoology. And if I go ahead and click on this drop-down arrow here, you can see that I am currently registered and connected to my student at Carewood Day School. So I'll be able to go ahead and see the updates that my student is in. So all of them are here, and I'll be able to also go into my student account and view any courses or groups that my student's in. Okay, so if I already have a Schoology account and I just need to add a child, so you may already have an account for a student who's in the middle or upper school, or you may just need to add a child to your account. So I'm currently in my account for one of my students. So if I go over here, you can see I can see one of my students here. If I need to add an additional child, then I'm going to use that exact same access code that I got off of the sheet. So I'm going to go ahead and show you that again. So here's my access code again. So this is to add my lower school child. I'm going to go ahead and click in Schoology. I'm going to click this drop down arrow and click on the add child button. Go ahead and paste in that code, and then I'm going to select use code. So what that's going to do now is if I go back over to my profile name here, it now added another child into my account so I can view both of my children. So I have a child here in middle school, and now I have a lower school child. When I click on them, I'll be able to see all of their information here. Okay, so now that we are logged in as a parent, you'll notice you're coming into the recent activity feed. So essentially, Schoology is a communication tool for all our parents. So lower school now this year will be using it as a way to communicate different things that are happening within the school, as well as different things that are happening within individual classrooms. So when you pop into Schoology for the first time, you're greeted with the recent activity feed. This is where, as a parent, you will see all the major activities that are taking place or the events. So you'll notice that there are postings that are going to the entire school. There are some that are specific only to lower school. So if you're a lower school parent, then you'll get these as well. And then there's also some having to do with IT and sports, etc. If you wanted to get the feed that your student gets, so now that you are signed into Schoology, and once you've added that child, you go ahead and select the drop-down arrow to the right here next to your name, and you'll see your children here. So I'm going to go ahead and select one of my students. So once I select them, now I am in my student view. So you notice I'm viewing it as my student. So I'll also see all the activity that takes place within what my student is enrolled in. So you'll notice the student is in class of 2027. So you will get all the updates that are going out to all of 7th graders. You'll also get the updates that are posted from each teacher. So if a teacher is posting a reminder or a link to something to the entire class, you'll be able to go in here and see that information as well. So this is essentially where you'll get most of your information. Lower school is using this 1st through 3rd. This is where you will get most of that communication. That's important updates and information for the class and for the school. 4th and 5th grade will be using Schoology this year as a gradebook as well, but it will be for individual assignments that go in. You will not see this as an overall grade in the gradebook. So really what you're going to be able to see as a parent is you're going to be able to go into a course and view the individual assignments that are turned in and graded, you'll be able to see those. So once you're in the school and you go into your grade section, you'll be able to click on a course, and here's where you'll see a specific assignment, and if it's graded within Schoology, you'll see the grade as well as any comments that the teacher makes to that grade. What you won't see is an overall grade for the semester because that's not how we're using it. What you will be able to do is similar to how you got something that was hand graded and turned back and sent home. This is just an easier, quicker way to get that grade in the grade book, and you'll be able to view those individual grades, but it's not somewhere where you'll be able to see the overall grade of your student at that current time. You'll just get those individual assignments as they come in. So just to kind of look around in here, you'll be able to go into the students' courses. If you're in first through third grade, you'll probably only see a homeroom here. So this is where you'll be able to go in and view any pictures, any updates that the homeroom teacher is posting out, any reminders. They'll continue to use Seesaw as well for those kind of day-to-day post social media type posts that are going out. But some teachers are also kind of migrating that information over to Schoology as well. Fourth and fifth grade, you'll see your individual courses here. So once you are in fourth and fifth grade, you'll see a math class, you'll see a writing class, you'll see a unit of inquiry class, and you'll be able to see your individual grades within each of those courses. You'll also, when you're in your child view, you'll be able to see any groups that they're currently a part of. So if they're in any groups, you'll be able to select those and get any updates or postings in there as well. But keep in mind, if you are on the main feed, so by clicking back on the Carewood Day School logo here, all of those posts that populate in individual courses and groups will also come through on the main feed. So the most recent one stays on top, and they'll continue to populate here. If I know I'm looking for a specific group and I want to see a posting, and perhaps it's buried a little bit too far down on the page, I can always go into that group, and once I select that group, I'm only viewing updates that are specific to that group. So it makes it a little bit easier to navigate what's in there. One other thing I'd like to show is once you are in your parent account, another thing you can do as well, so let me jump over here, is instead of emailing a teacher, if you have a quick question or you want to send a message, you can do so within Schoology. So you don't have to actually leave and conduct an email. You can actually go ahead and up here at the top side, you can see a envelope icon. So if you click on that and then you select new message, you'll be able to type in a name of a teacher and select them, and then you can actually create a message that will go directly to your teacher here. In the middle school and upper school, this is primarily the way that our students communicate with teachers as well as parents. So they're very familiar with it. It's an alternative to email since our emails do tend to get cluttered up with additional things beyond parent emails. So I would suggest taking a look at this feature as well if you want to conduct a message to your teacher this way. Another thing I'd like to show you here is a way to update how often you'll receive parent email digest that will go home to your email. So for first through third grade, you probably won't want to set this up on a daily basis because you won't be getting a lot of those grade updates since it's not being used as a grade book. Fourth and fifth grade, you may want to, but you could also set it up on a weekly basis. So let's show you how to update this. So if I go into a student account, so I'm going to select this student, and then I go over to my settings. I'm going to go ahead and select notifications. Once I do that, you'll see by default I have my email summary, my parent digest going out daily at 8 o'clock. And typically what's in those are grades, anything that's been turned in, any other updates that have been sent out, any overdue items along the way. First and third, like I said, you may want to only do it on a weekly basis since you won't be getting the grade report information that typically you get with this digest. Fourth through fifth grade, it's up to you how you want to do that, whether you want it on a daily basis or a weekly basis. But to change this, you can just select weekly, and then you're picking your day of the week here. So say I want to do it on a Friday, and then I can also update my time as well. So if I want to do it at 5 p.m., I can go ahead and do that and save any changes. So now I'll only get this on a weekly basis on Fridays at 5 instead of every 8 o'clock every morning. So You can also choose to select if you get an email when something becomes overdue. So this would be if there's something set up in Schoology to turn an assignment in and there's nothing turned in for your student by the due date, this will trigger an overdue submission email that will be sent to you. You can turn this on or off here as well. Keep in mind, some assignments are actually done physically still. So sometimes something will be marked as overdue when it's actually physically completed, but just not graded by the teacher. So just maybe ask a question of your student before you assume the worst there. So I'm going to go ahead and save this. I want weekly at 5 o'clock, and I want my email notification for overdue submissions. I'm going to hit the Save Changes button, and now for this student only, if I have multiple students, I'll have to do the same for the next student. But for this student, this is when I'll receive notifications on the account. And then also as a parent, I can change some of my notification settings as well. So if I go in here as a parent to notifications, I can choose to basically say what I want an email for or don't want it for. Now, you as a parent aren't in a course, your student's in a course, so you probably won't receive these notifications. But if you want to minimize some of the emails that are coming in, you can always go through these and select off and then kind of just choose the ones that you feel like are the most important. The one that I always leave on for sure is the one where if I receive a private message from somebody, so that's where if somebody uses this envelope and sends me a message, I want to make sure that I get an email for that in case I forget to check Schoology. All the other ones I typically turn off because I'm checking Schoology on a regular basis anyway, so I'm able to go ahead and get those that way. Once again, remember, first through third grade, you'll be using this primarily as a means of communication. So it's really these postings, these updates that you'll be seeing. And for fourth and fifth grade, you'll be using it as communication, but you'll also have some gradebook access as well. As always, reach out to me with any questions. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.